From Skinny from the Nine pulling out his strap, to Broke ASF whipping out a Draco mid-interview, these are 20 rappers who attacked interviewers. Starting off with number 1, the Island Boys. Poking the Island Boys might be one of the worst mistakes any interviewer can make, because these boys will mess up anyone that tries to make fun of them. The Island Boys never hesitate to cause a scene, even when it seems unnecessary. But in this case, they genuinely felt there was a need for the drama that happened during the Danza Project interview. The Island Boys were on the Danza Project podcast around the time they had gone viral for displaying a homosexual act on camera, so it was a hot topic everywhere they went. YouTuber LaMike was also present during that appearance. He was dropping his takes from time to time during the interview. The Island Boys and LaMike traded words for a while as they were all trying to get their voices heard, but the argument took a turn after LaMike asked if they would kiss it out as they did in their viral video. Both of the twins stood up and were ready to fight it out with LaMike for daring to say that. Apparently they weren't cool with anyone suggesting that to their faces even if they had already done it.
It's basically asking for somebody to try you in real life.
Shortly after Danza calmed things down, one of the Island Boys said he didn't care what people on the internet had to say about them.
No, I'm just tired of talking shit to me on the internet,
just
bro.
say that you're YouTube. Man, what they gotta say, man. They're gonna hate on you.
But then Danza asked why the brothers now all of a sudden seemed to care when LaMike said he and his brother should kiss it out. Danza's question made matters worse. The twin brothers stood up ready to attack Danza, letting him know they would beat him up and destroy his studio if he brought the topic up again. Danza sounded ready for the beatdown and told them he would love to see them try it.
Bro, shut your up before I break this.
Dude, hey, yo, that ass, I would love to see you try that.
Bro, what are you talking about?
I would love to see you try that.
Luckily, people in the studio dragged them away from each other and the room cooled off a bit.
Bro, you don't have to bring that shit up, bro.
I mean, what do you mean not bring it up? That's what we're, if we're sitting here,
it's just about him being vibing.
50 Cent. 50 Cent may have stirred up some trouble once in a while, but everyone knows that 50 doesn't go out of his way to create drama. So when interviewer Speedy Mormon tried to bring out that ugly side of 50 Cent, he got what was coming to him. 50 graced a hip-hop media outlet with his presence in order to promote the ABC drama series he had executively produced titled For Life. It was supposed to be a promotional interview, but Speedy Mormon was eager to get an entirely different story from the rapper. Speedy tilted from the drama series he was meant to discuss and jumped to asking questions about 50 Cent's beef with French Montana. Speedy asked,
"Get you out on this. It seems as though it all started with playful banter. It still seems that way to me, but what's up with French? Are you guys cool? Are you not cool?"
50 responded to the interviewer that he wasn't interested in talking about the beef. Speedy wouldn't take that as a response, and he further pressed the rapper, asking him if there was any truth to the rumors about how 50 had snuffed French Montana in a club in Miami. 50 Cent managed to remain polite as he told him there wasn't any truth to the rumor. However, 50 got pissed that Speedy would think he would throw hands in the club. Speedy told 50 Cent he wouldn't put it past him, and that was when things went downhill. 50 responded to the interviewer saying,
I can't believe you would say these things about me.
50 Cent was done having the conversation, and to avoid any negative outcomes, he simply took the microphone off his blazer and walked out of the interview. Speedy Mormon was lucky that 50 wasn't the type of rapper that would flash a strap on him. Kanye West wasn't having it when Sway Calloway was trying to make him feel some kind of way during an interview on the Sirius XM station. The interview, which was in 2013, put Sway in a difficult position with the rapper as Kanye crashed out while trying to set things straight. The topic was about fashion, and Kanye was trying to explain how hard it had been for him to break into the fashion industry with ease due to some opposition. But Sway dropped his 2 cents in a manner Kanye wasn't okay with.
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back.
Sway tried to question Kanye about his ideas and whether he felt they were cool enough to give him the breakthrough he needed. Unfortunately, Kanye took it the wrong way and questioned Sway back, saying,
"You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Kanye,
I've been doing this more than you.
Doing what
You
more
ain't
than
got-
me?
Kanye's statement led to an argument between them. Kanye threw shade at Sway as he belittled his achievements and said,
What's the name of your clothing line? We don't know.
Kanye,
You know what I'm saying?
because-
Kanye attacking Sway verbally was properly understood when he mentioned how he had lost millions of dollars just because he was trying to set up his fashion line. The heated exchange settled and they both apologized to each other.
Love you, man. I'm sorry. I love you, man. I'm sorry,
that's
okay?
Fine, that's fine.
Kanye then explained further how it had been so difficult for him to get a breakthrough in the fashion industry. The rapper claimed the bigger companies in the industry made him feel marginalized even with his successful career in music. In Kanye's words,
The thing that compresses me is time versus money. Integrity, money, and relevance. Because as I work on clothing more, I'm not rapping as much. So I'm not in the middle of that future mix because I didn't do that feature. I'm not rapping as much. I'm not having as much finances. I'm losing relevancy.
Kanye detailed his frustration, and luckily he and Sway didn't end the interview on a bad note. T.I. may be known for being calm, but then again, he's also on the list of rappers who speak their minds as they see fit. So when Candace Owens thought she could get a free pass with the rapper, she got the total opposite. During the 2019 Revolt Summit, the rapper had one question for Candace, but she couldn't give an appropriate answer to it. T.I. disturbed the panel's atmosphere when he questioned Donald Trump's 2020 campaign slogan. The rapper asked,
When you say make America great again, which period are we talking about? The period when women couldn't vote? The period when we were hanging from trees?
I'll answer.
Or like the crack era? Which period in America are you trying to make America like again?
Candace Owens, who is known to have a smart mouth in any space she finds herself, couldn't respond to the rapper as everything she was trying to say led to her being booed by the crowd.
I'll answer your question.
Tell me.
I'm ready to answer your question.
Nicki Minaj, Joe Budden thought the queen of rap would forget how he had talked down on her in the past, but the popular interviewer was clearly mistaken. Nicki Minaj pulled the savage card on Joe Budden years later on an episode of Queen Radio. Joe Budden was invited on the Queen Radio show and got the most shocking scene of his life. Nicki went ahead and confronted Budden on his negative comments about her over the years. The Queen of Rap brought up the most significant part Joe had discussed, which was him saying Nicki's Instagram live sessions were always planned, while Megan Thee Stallion's Instagram live sessions were organic. There was also the part where the interviewer had claimed Nicki had been a user of hard drugs in the past. The conversation started with a cool tone and only got colder when Nicki brought the topics up and questioned Joe Budden. Nicki asked,
Are you that dumb? You ain't hear what the I said?
You asked
Cut
me.
his mic. Since he want to be dumb. Now you want to be dumb. Now you want to be dumb. Well, you like tearing down women when they can't defend themselves.
The conversation started getting heated as Joe tried to defend himself, but his microphone was turned off as the show proceeded.
Damn, I didn't want it to go that way.
What's wrong with you? Anybody play it black, play it back. Did I say that?
Joe Budden's voice was no longer heard, and it was as if he had left the studio after the exchange and the show went on without him. Cardi B can joke about a lot of things, but her children aren't part of that. The female rapper had gone on an on-camera interview to promote a Netflix hip-hop talent competitor series titled Rhythm and Flow. When her child was brought up in a negative way, she handled it like most mothers would. The headline that was used for the interview was the main thing the rapper had a problem with. Access Hollywood had posted a clip of the interview with a headline that read, Cardi B admits baby culture calls someone else mommy because she works so much it feels whack. Cardi didn't hesitate to go on her Instagram and blast everyone that was involved in the interview, from the producers to the interviewer and even the staff that wrote about it. Cardi claimed the company had changed her words and made clickbait out of it. While raging, the rapper wrote,
So don't use my kid for clickbait. Access Hollywood, suck my whole suck a I hope your mom catch AIDS.
Cardi explained how they had asked her about venturing into Hollywood and how motherhood had changed her, and she confirmed she gave the interviewer about a 2-minute answer. The rapper said she explained how people expect her to do so many things, like going from the recording studio to going to film for the different programs, and how still handling her normal business wasn't easy at all. Cardi's explanation lengthened as she said her words were,
I'm sorry if I take time of my day that I could be 5 hours in the studio, but I spend the 5 hours with my kid because yes, I can have somebody babysit my kid. Yes, I can have somebody babysit my kid, but it's like, it's a whack feeling when your kid don't not even trying to with you and try to call somebody else mommy.
She added.
That's why you gotta spend time with your kid.
The rapper hit the nail on the head as she concluded.
These chop what I said off. That's not what the I said. Don't use my kid for clickbait.
Cardi ended her rant as she told Access Hollywood to stop trying to make her look like a terrible mother because that was something she was not, and she doesn't play like that. However, it seems the rapper later got an apology from the network because she later posted saying, "Okay guys, I feel better now. Sorry for the bullshit. Woo, chilly. I haven't been this mad since what was the reason?" Migos. In the history of interviewers getting under rappers' skin, Joe Budden holds a top spot. During the 2017 BET Awards, the Migos group almost took Joe's head off as he disrespected them and even made them seem like nobodies. While the episode of Everyday Struggle was happening on the red carpet, Budden copped an attitude and acted up, and the situation almost turned physical. Joe Budden seems to have been annoyed with the way DJ Akademiks melts going back and forth with the group. Akademiks asked Takeoff why he was left off the single Bad and Bougie, and Takeoff responded saying,
"You say I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
What's that?
You say I'm left off Bad and Bougie?"
Takeoff had to repeat himself a couple of times as Akademiks couldn't hear him due to the noise in the background. Joe Budden seemed to be pissed with the situation and told Akademiks to wrap it up and walked away, dropping his microphone on the floor.
Who is a collector?
All right, we gotta wrap this up though.
Okay. My bad. Happy trying to jump.
I didn't hear anything.
Favorite groups. I've been covering for so long. I'm glad they succeeded, man.
Hey man, you guys are not.
The Migos rappers took turns in doing the same thing, and the gang almost got physical due to the incident before people around them calmed them down.
Wait. No, wait. Wait.
Where's their security guard? Where's their security guard?
It went away, but Joe wouldn't let it slide. When he was asked about it on the Therapist show, Joe replied saying, "I'm not going to sit there while 3 young men give me the ass to kiss." It was a false sense of entitlement from these 3 gentlemen. While my novice co-host and my moderator will sit through it, I will not. Joe added, "I was behind the scenes saying, why are we talking to these people? I'm blunt, I'm insensitive, I'm not filtered, I'm not censored. Things could go left." Young Miami and DJ Akademiks got into a feud during an interview due to Akademiks' view on women. Akademiks has always been vocal on the way he sees some women like Young Miami. He also had a personal beef with Young Miami when he tried to advise her about her style of rap. Young Miami wasn't going to let that slide, so when she got the opportunity to diss Akademiks in a song, she took it. Young Miami rapped, "Akademiks, you a why you speaking on women?" DJ Akademiks responded with a tweet on X saying, "Damn, shorty dissed me 3 months too late with a whack bar." Akademiks added, "The blogs and people who used to jack her was roasting her. She don't want no smoke with me. Her rap career is done. We just want to hear about her getting peed on by Diddy. Has she been in them freak offs or nah? At Young Miami 305, I tried to give you rap advice you claimed I was hating. Babe, I was right." Charleston White. Charleston White really doesn't have much time for going back and forth, so when DJU tried to mess with him in a funny way, White showed him he couldn't just get off scot-free. In an interview in late 2022, DJU seemed to have crossed the line. According to White, White got pissed as he was trying to defend FBG Duck's mother and King Von's family, so White pulled out a strap in the middle of the interview. White didn't care about Von as he mentioned that he was a murderer, but his family shouldn't be exempt from Von's mess if they were cool with his actions.
Even though I don't know nothing about King Von mama, y'all gonna show love to Von mama.
According to White, he believed his family weren't at fault because of his misdeeds. Same with FBG Duck. White even claimed he had helped Duck's mother once because he wouldn't put her son's faults on her.
I helped this living mama, them dead.
However, White wouldn't care about Von's mother if she was cool with her son's actions. White mentioned how 2 of his mother's children were locked up for murders, and his mother publicly declared she wasn't involved in their mess.
My mama had 2 sons locked up for murder, and my mama let everybody know I'm not in agreement in what my son's done.
White was explaining to DJU how he didn't care about the violent kids or the families that let their actions slide. He said he shouldn't be judged for not being interested in helping the family. White said it's none of his business, and that's when DJU told him to chill out. That pissed White off, and he immediately flashed his strap at DJU so he'd know he wasn't playing games with him.
Nigga, I don't give a about I keep my mother gun. Nigga, I keep my mother gun, nigga.
DJU proceeded to ask White if he was high on something. That pissed White off even more, and he was close to burning the whole place to the ground. But luckily, things calmed down as DJU changed the mood, and folks in the studio played along to help White chill out. G Herbo and Southside. Funny Marco is known for his weird way of mocking celebrities when he interviews them, so Pop G Herbo and his friend Southside decided to give him a dose of his own medicine, and it was quite brutal. G Herbo and Southside aimed to attack Marco on his show like he does to other celebrities. Funny Marco would have canceled had he seen the attack coming. The interview started off with cool vibes as Southside, G Herbo, and Marco were just talking and having fun, but then the rappers changed their tone. The rappers started asking Marco about his hat and even his whole outfit. They kept picking on him while Marco was just looking confused since that wasn't part of the plan for the interview.
Where did you get that hat from, bro? That's what I want to know.
I got this from Target.
Nowhere, found it.
Target?
Let me see this stupid ass hat. That dumb on, dude.
Herbo and Southside were on a roll, from talking about Marco's hat to calling his socks cheap and mocking his shoes.
When you wear cheap socks, they gotta look clean. They can't look recycled.
Yeah, bro, you can have my shoes, bro.
Everything's 9.5, bro.
The list went on. Marco kept holding it in while they were having a good laugh. At some point, they called him a dumbass and said he needed money. G Herbo collected money from Southside and dumped the cash on the floor for Marco to pick up. Southside said he thought Marco was homeless. G Herbo threw a cup at him. It was a mess of an interview. Later, a clip left out of the final cut of the interview surfaced, showing Southside destroying Marco's $30,000 watch and Herbo mentioning he was giving Marco more respect than he deserved.
Hey, shut the up, dude. All right, let's get it. I'm giving you more respect than you deserve. So it's like, I'm coming. Damn. Oh, that's a piece of shit.
The entire interview and the extra clip proved that G Herbo and Southside had intentionally come to attack Marco. Folks on the internet claimed the rapper's actions were justified as they were just going with Funny Marco's vibe. Marco responded to those comments by saying it wasn't the same thing at all, as they had wrecked his $30,000 watch and called him a Marco claimed they went way too far as he doesn't treat people like that or talk to them in that manner. Little House Phone. Little House Phone got into it with Adam22 during an episode of the No Jumper podcast. House Phone and Adam22 were at odds as their relationship had fallen out, but it seemed they had some extra beef to settle besides their friendship not working out. House Phone, who was originally one of the hosts of the No Jumper podcast before he left, wasn't around when Adam22 had done an interview with a transgender woman named Gracie Jane. Jane made the claim that she had once hooked up with House Phone. Adam tried to edit it out of the final cut, but folks still made the connection that the person Jane was talking about was House Phone.
You've already sold out entire life here.
Yeah, well.
Did that look down upon to expose that somebody may have been with a trans person?
Little House Phone was pissed that Adam had betrayed him like that, so he confronted him on the No Jumper episode. House Phone claimed the Gracie Jane interview had cost him a lot, both mentally and emotionally. House Phone couldn't believe his old friend would sell him out like that just for views. Adam22 defended himself, saying it wasn't like that, but House Phone insisted his friend had sold him out for 40,000 views. Adam claimed he didn't do it on purpose, to which House Phone replied that he knew it wasn't on purpose, but that Adam had handled the situation poorly afterwards.
Bro, you sold me down the river for 40,000 views, 50,000 views, bro.
You really think that?
Bro, you actually permanently altered my life. Do you understand
saw
that?
those text messages and you really believe that I did that to you on purpose?
House Phone thought Adam could have had the whole interview deleted instead of just cutting out parts of it. Adam answered that he wished he had done that too, but House Phone wasn't riding with Adam's wishes after the deed had been done.
Nigga, you would have deleted the whole interview, Adam.
I mean, in retrospect, yes, I wish we did that.
It's all I wish afterwards, nigga.
House Phone mentioned how his entire family was checking on him to make sure he was okay since his mother had recently passed. His family was worried he might off himself.
My sister has nothing to do with any of this shit, bro.
I agree.
She had to call me because my other family members was worried that I was gonna commit suicide, Adam.
House Phone mentioned that he felt the apology Adam gave about the situation on camera wasn't sincere, and he felt he was disrespecting his late mother.
You're talking about, yeah, he's been going through the mom, he's been going through the health. You talking about the person that raised me? that birthed me, my best friend that died. Oh, he's been going through the mom.
That was when Adam22 also got into anger mode and reminded House Phone that there was no way he was disrespecting his late mother when he was the one that had actually paid for his mother's funeral. That was when House Phone lost it.
But are you actually acting like I have some kind of disrespect for your mom when
You're respectful as
I paid for the fucking funeral as soon as it happened.
House Phone picked something up off the table and attacked Adam while Adam was removing his jacket, ready to go man to man with House Phone. But the people in the studio prevented them from taking it too far before things got really ugly. Skinny from the Nine. Skinny from the Nine's attack could be seen coming from a mile away because the disgust on his face at the beginning of the interview was as clear as day. Skinny, who was in an interview with Craft Culture, tried to adjust to the weird things he was hearing and seeing until he finally crashed out. The interviewer started by trolling Skinny with a block of cheese since Skinny is known for ratting out his gang.
There you go. What's this?
Skinny asked what was in front of him, and the interviewer responded that it was cheese in case he got hungry during the interview.
That's for you. You know, just in case you get hungry throughout the interview.
Skinny was already irritated by that part, but he still thugged it out and moved on with the conversation. As the interview went on, the interviewer weirdly started reading to Skinny about women's satisfaction rates in bed.
That the #1 factor of which oftentimes leaves them dissatisfied in the bedroom is due to a lack of rhythm and consistency of motion from their male partners.
The interviewer talked about artists creating a beat that could be used to improve the statistics of women achieving pleasure in the bedroom. Skinny was wondering how that was any of his business and asked the interviewer what exactly he was trying to say.
What the f are you talking about?
The interviewer retraced his steps and went back to asking normal questions, such as asking about Skinny's former manager. Skinny responded that poker was still his buddy, but they weren't on business terms anymore.
Poker, that's my I with poker, but nah, we not on no business terms, but I fuck with poker. He decent.
The interviewer then asked Skinny about his face paralysis. Skinny had told the world in 2022 that he had partial facial paralysis after he was spotted wearing an eye patch on several occasions.
All right, so I want to ask you about your facial paralysis.
The interviewer wanted to know if Skinny could still drink and do other stuff. Skinny replied that he could still do anything he wanted and that the facial paralysis only appeared occasionally.
I'll be rapping, I'll be drinking, I'll be eating, whatever I'm doing, you feel me?
Yeah.
And the shit just comes out of nowhere. Like my face would just get stuck. Like
Skinny explained how he could be randomly rapping and a side of his face would get stuck. The interviewer thought it would be funny to joke about it, as he said that must have been the reason the rapper's music had been trash for a while. Well, that set Skinny off.
So that explains why your music sounds like shit.
Boy, keep playing with me, my that ass.
Skinny stood up to the microphone ready to go as he told the interviewer that he could still smack him even with his face stuck if he kept playing with him like that. Skinny told the interviewer he would even smack the entire crew that was present at the interview.
I'm this disabled don't got it. I will still smack the out of you. None of y'all niggas gonna stop me. You understand? Your whole staff. Smack the out of this. Smack the out the cameraman. Smack the out of this goofy. This. All y'all get smacked.
Well, Skinny wasn't joking because a couple of seconds after his declaration, he moved to the interviewer's side and tried to pull his strap on him before security came in to break it up. Skinny was dead serious about smacking the interviewer, and he wasn't talking about the regular type of smacking. The interviewer could have gotten smoked if not for the quick intervention by security. Mayo isn't up for no disrespect, especially if it's coming from a young fella. There's no way he would allow that to happen. When YouTuber Booba 100X had the chance to interview an older rap legend like Mayo, he took it real quick, but he overdid it. Booba was excited to be chanced to put his microphone close to Mayo's mouth, but his questions and statements were just off the rails. In January 2023, at the Daniels Leather Fashion Show, Booba asked Mayo if he could borrow his chain so he could see how it felt. Mayo checked him and told the YouTuber that he was just chatting, and that was because he gave him time.
I came over here, like, my objective over here today was to, you know what I'm saying, snatch some chains. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
You should try that.
No, I'm saying, I already.
Dude, this is a good, you should really try that.
Booba didn't get the clue that the rapper was unimpressed, and that he should take his leave. He further pressed Mayo as he asked him how badly Mayo thought he could beat his ass on a scale of 1 to 10.
On a scale of 1 to 10, right? How badly, right? You think I could like beat your ass?
That was when Booba finally realized he had made a mistake with his line of questions because Mayo's reaction was unexpected and unbelievable. The rapper went straight for Booba's throat, saying he told the YouTuber not to play with him over a stupid video. Mayo wasn't joking and was dead serious about teaching Booba a lesson. And to be fair, Booba seems to have learned the right type of questions to ask rappers since then. The clip circulated on the internet, and folks were concerned about the way Mayo had choked Booba. A lot of people were judging his actions as they felt it could have led to Booba losing his life or another terrible situation. So later, Mayo went on air and declared the whole thing was fake, as he and the interviewer had staged it in hopes that it would go viral. But no one believed that because it didn't come off like a fake situation at all. Broke ASF. Interviewer Rich Kevin feared for his life after what rapper Broke ASF said to him. The line would have scared anyone, especially if they weren't from the hood or didn't have a strap on for defense. Broke ASF, an up-and-coming rapper from Jacksonville, agreed to be on Rich Kevin's show to talk about his career and other random topics. But things went south after Kevin started asking Broke questions that didn't sit right with him. Broke was high on the strains he had rolled up, so when Kevin's questions started getting bothersome, Broke went from smiling to making a face that could scare away a grown-ass adult, not to mention a baby. Broke's expression switched in a split second while still blowing his trees. Broke asked Kevin if he wanted to see what would happen if he kept pestering him with the police questions.
You can ask me that shit? You want to see what happened?
Kevin responded that he was just asking to know what happened, but that made things worse.
I mean, I was just asking, bro. I was just trying to see what happened, bro.
Broke told Kevin he could show him what happened if he turned off the camera.
I can show you, turn the camera off.
That line would tip anyone off that they better take it easy if they knew what was good for them. Kevin knew his days could be numbered if that camera went off, so he obviously chose to keep it on. Luckily for Kevin, Broke packed up his stuff and left the room. But Broke didn't just leave the room calmly. He removed a strap from his shorts and flashed Kevin since he wanted to know so much about the rapper's upcoming federal case. Again, Kevin was lucky Broke let him off the hook because things could have gone way worse. Compton AV. Compton AV had beef with BMX Vale back in 2021 that had never gotten settled. Even when they were about to smoke each other, the beef still never got squashed. One day, AV was on the No Jumper podcast when Vale pulled up and things got heated. When Vale pulled up, AV didn't even allow him to get into the camera angle properly before he stood up to give him a close marking. It was on sight. AV was ready for bloodshed, and people in the studio knew what was about to go down. Vale got into the camera angle and the video showed them having an altercation in the studio. But things turned out differently than expected when the dust settled. AV explained how their beef had started with a bad joke Vale had made about him once. They eventually settled the beef and even claimed it wasn't that big of a deal from the very beginning. Good thing for both of them because things could have gotten lethal from a beef that wasn't even serious. Birdman. Birdman says he's a man of his word and he never runs away from a fight, so anyone who wants to speak ill of him should do it to his face. One fateful day, Birdman pulled up to the Breakfast Club and told Charlamagne the God and the rest of the Breakfast Club hosts they needed to own up to their shit. He wanted them to repeat the BS they had been saying about him to his face right then and there.
While I'm here, what's happening?
I'm all good, but I'm saying why come here just to curse us
what's
up?
Happening, man? I wanted to see you. I wanted to talk to you on your man in your face.
Absolutely.
You understand me?
Birdman was there with his crew and he stood on business the entire time. The rapper told the three hosts to stop playing with his name and that he was ready for them to trash it all out on camera. Charlamagne told Birdman to get it off his chest as it appeared he had something important on his mind. That was when Birdman said that Charlamagne was the main problem, but all he wanted was that they give his name respect as he wasn't just a little boy or a pawn in the game.
I just come to let y'all know, stop, put some respect on my name. You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
Did you pull up on Ross that way or Trick Daddy?
Man, I'm pulling up on you.
Birdman let Charlamagne know that there had been a couple places he could have caught him lacking and sprayed him right then. But he didn't think that was gangster enough as he believes in handling his business face to face like a man. Hence his reason for coming to warn him first.
I knew a few places you was at. I could have pulled up, but I don't think that was gangster. I wanted to come look you in your face like a man and tell you how.
Charlemagne questioned Birdman as to why he wouldn't pull up on Rick Ross or Trick Daddy that way. Birdman ignored his questions and repeated his warning about them putting respect on his name. Birdman dropped his 2 cents and left the studio with his crew. Charlemagne may have acted cool, but he knew better than to mess with Birdman's name ever again. Ugod. DJ Vlad must have thought a rapper like Ugod would just smile and take it if he threw dirt on his name, but he found out the hard way how wrong he was. Vlad is known for trying to ridicule rappers or black talent during his interviews. Unsurprisingly, most of these rappers don't let it slide, and Ugod was one of them. Ugod wasn't interested in trading words with Vlad from the beginning. The rapper's facial expression even looked like the interview was boring him and he couldn't wait to leave. But Vlad would do anything to make his videos go viral. So DJ Vlad kept pressing the rapper about drug dealing due to Ugod being locked up twice for possession. Vlad asked about Ugod's entry and exit to jail, and the rapper questioned Vlad if he was asking him or telling him with a straight face.
Now, during the time, though, you were hustling. You asking me or you telling me?
Vlad stuttered to answer and seemed to get the message. So he skipped to questioning the rapper about his criminal activities, talking about his association with the Wu-Tang Clan and other things. Ugod was already pissed as he responded to Vlad that he should drop the act and end the interview since he seemed to already know the answers to all the questions he was asking.
So the Wu-Tang Clan starts to form and you guys start to work on the first project. How much of it did you actually see come together? Because at one point you end up getting locked up.
You know the damn story, Vlad, man. Stop acting like you don't know the damn story, man.
Vlad kept asking weird questions, but Ugod was ready for him. For every provoking question that Vlad asked, he was attacked with a difficult question from Ugod that he had to answer before he got murked right then and there. 16 Shotem. 16 Shotem may not be a rapper, but he's known in the rap scene as he interviews many rappers. One day 16 was on the No Jumper podcast being interviewed by Flaco. Things were going fine at first until both parties had a difference of opinion on something. 16 told Flaco he was playing two sides since Flaco was cool with bandman Kavo, who was one of 16's ops, but he was still trying to be cool with 16 at the same time. 16 wasn't feeling Flaco's style as he felt he needed to pick a side.
How was that our fault, though? Because you said, right?
What you mean, how's your fault? You standing behind this shit. You calling me a clout chaser and you standing behind this shit. I'm showing you this shit.
No.
Flaco said that it wasn't a bad thing that he could be cool with both of them at the same time. But 16 had a problem with that. 16 didn't respect any who would be cool with his ops, as that could endanger him in the streets.
Doing all this shit for nothing, bro. This harassing me.
How we instigating?
Putting bots of addresses he think I live at 1,000 times under people's comments I don't with. This dropping socials and security numbers and driver's license numbers. This doing a lot of weird shit behind the scenes, bro. This nigga making fake pages saying I'm trying to kill him.
How is that our fault, though, right?
It's like you with me, then you on some police shit too.
16 went on to call Flaco Kavo to piss him off since he wouldn't stop meat riding Kavo.
He was clout chasing off Kavo.
Man, shut up. I just said let the man talk.
What'd you say, Kavo?
Bro, suck my dick, bro.
Flaco's response set things off and caused 16 to crash out. 16 told Flaco to stop playing with him before he slapped him. Flaco dared him to do it, and that was it.
Hey, stop playing before I smack the shit out you.
Do it.
A dude like 16 hates threats, so he spat in Flaco's face and was ready to beat him up for real. Thankfully, security and the people in the studio calmed the situation before things disintegrated. Young Vadu. Young Vadu was on an episode of the Trapland podcast with the Koko show. Koko used to be someone that he had a good relationship with up until their fallout. While the interview was going on, Koko started going off on Young Vadu, and the rapper was wondering where the bad energy was coming from. Koko said Vadu was just another example of one of those wannabe rugged rappers, as he wasn't all about that good life he had been claiming had gone viral. Koko said that he had let their beef slide because if they both went off, someone would get hurt and that someone wasn't going to be him.
The only reason why niggas left you alone and left you rock, you know why? Because if me and you go at it, somebody gonna die. On my soul.
Vadu wasn't acting aggressive while Koko was venting his frustration. He just butted in a few times and sipped his drink, but things went south when Koko wouldn't stop yapping. Vadu knew Koko was all talk and no action, so when he mentioned that no one could shut him up, young Vadu threw in some action and landed a punch on Koko's face to shut him up. People online clowned Koko for getting battered like that, while some said Vadu shouldn't have hit Koko. Vadu later took to Instagram Live to explain his side of the story. Vadu claimed Koko had paid him $100 to disrespect him in the interview. That explained Vadu's patience, while Koko went on a disrespectful rant against him. Vadu claimed he was fine with it until Koko started disrespecting his people and saying people were gonna die if something went down for real between them. Vadu said he wasn't up for that, as that wasn't what he agreed to, so he had to check Koko for saying it. Vadu said Koko didn't know when enough was enough, and he got what he deserved. Do you think some of these interviewers really went too far with their questions and pranks on those rappers? Or do you think some of these rappers could have handled the situations differently? Join the conversation and let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.